What's poppin'? Oh my god, my camera froze up. Perfect start to the stream. Jesus Christ. Oh my days, bro. Am I here? I'm here. Fantastic. Like you can, if I put myself here, you see me here, right? What's up? This is perfect. I'm just gonna put it from here. It's gonna be best viewing experience you ever imagined. Yo, this actually can work. Is it possible to like remove all the menus and I just put myself here? What's going on? We're trying to figure out my camera situation. My camera for some reason it's not working. Fantastic. Even full screen works. Look at that. Yeah, I haven't done this in so long, guys. I'm like, I'll be so rusty. I wanted to do this kind of on a weekly basis because Saturday would be the only day that I have available to me where I can sit down and spend some time at the computer. More videos during holiday season. Yo, I'm locked in this year. It's been 3 days and I'm locked in. I'm gonna be making one more today, finishing up, and then just batch recording a bunch of other ones so that I have some stuff to edit. But yeah, I'm locked in for this year. It's gonna be fantastic 2026. I can feel it. Today's little stream, I wanted to go over a couple of things. Well, channel content, just quickly off the bat. Thank you so much for support. Look at that, 1 out of 10 for the new Zaire video. Obviously members, we have all of that because this is the bread and butter of especially you guys. If you really want me to kind of talk about anything, we can discuss a lot of stuff here. We can and you've seen my video probably on this one. If you're here in live, you've probably seen my video about this. And yeah, I'm super excited what we're building here. So bunch of introductions from people, but I do wanted to go over a bunch of some video submissions. Like here we have, can you show me the name? H. Here you go, H. Last time was T, now it's H. 900 USAT rated player. The video is recorded in November. I'm using Stiga Dynasty Penhold with Battle Friendship 2 Gold forehand and DHS Golden Arc 8 backhand. I've never heard of those rubbers in my life, not gonna lie. I'm told 195 centimeters, dude, wearing white. Bro, you should be playing NBA. What are you doing playing table tennis? This is LeBron James of table tennis right here. The main thing I struggle with so much in my footwork. Because of this, I always end up reaching or playing very grounded. It feels like my feet are glued to the ground, limiting me and produce the better quality shots that I wanted. Any footwork tips or drills would be highly appreciated. I can already tell, like before you even click on the video, before even watching what we're gonna watch right here, I can already tell there's gonna be few issues. I can tell two different things that's gonna happen here. This why we're talking about this guy in white. If you feel like you're stuck with your feet, you need to be on the balls of your feet more. You need to be basically jumping up and down. And then it's all about the coordination. So there's a lot of there's a lot of drills that kind of do this with the use your feet in table tennis way. That's why we train that, and we get the pattern of movement for table tennis. There's small pattern movements and there's big pattern movements. Small movements, we're talking about the side to side movement, and then the big movement would be the cross step. I think would be a good video to shoot. I think I'm going to train a couple of my students tomorrow, and I think I'll stay after a little bit just to coach them. Oh shit, it's probably a little bit. Bro wearing Liverpool jersey, get out of here. Get this guy out of here. Arsenal forever, baby. Well, you're sitting low, which I like, but yeah, I see that I can already see that it's, even though he's sitting low, H is sitting very low, which I like. There still needs to be a little bit more lightness on the feet. Standing on the balls of the feet. I'll probably search up a few like, bro, like here, especially with this angle, like you see how low he sits. Massive legs, by the way. Look up, it's flat. It's really flat. Like it needs to be on the balls of the feet. You need to be jumping all the time. So the best way to kind of take a look at that, like look at Timo Ball and his heels here. He's never flat-footed. So flat-footedness is like one of the biggest things that needs to be taken care of. It's always, oh, god damn, his swing changed so much, eh? He's always on the balls of the feet. This is very important for for a table tennis player. Like, I think I play a lot of the times flat-footed, but not when the games kind of start being more difficult. So yeah, that's kind of my point where I'm coming from. But it has to be always, even though you sit really well for that basic side-to-side movement along this table. So basically, first movement is, if you can see my cursor here, so basically you have to touch corner of the table from each side, and it's basically a 3-step movement. 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. And that's a good footwork exercise. And then from net to net, that will teach the side to side movement, and will teach you to be on the balls of the feet all the time. Here you go. But thank you for submitting a video. There's been people who basically just been dropping videos. 800 TT rated player. In this video, I'm using Provincial Hurricane 3 for forehand. The Primora Carbon Blade. I have since then switched them around because I feel like my forehand was a little too slow. Trying to be more aggressive. I feel like not very good to generate and spin. Well, hey, we got our boy Enoch here. I already can tell. You have a Provincial Hurricane, right? First of all, Hurricane needs to be boosted 100%. That's more of a, depends on who your coach is, but needs to be boosted. It's really good if you're like a kid. I don't know how old you are in here. So because you're playing with Hurricane, it needs to be boosted, in my opinion. That's something you can discuss with your coach and stuff. But it's really good rubber if you like to build like proper technique and to kind of have your physicality ready for it, for all of that. That's why I think Europeans usually have this like weird technique when they play, because they use like lighter, softer rubbers, and then all of the Chinese guys have like this beautiful technique. But I feel like you change it now, where European guys have to switch to like a lot harder rubbers, and then with harder rubbers you need the better technique, which that rubber kind of forces you to learn the proper technique. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Let's take a look. Yeah, I would fix your forehand immediately. That's what I'm looking at. Your backhand is in front of you, which is good. Maybe it's just a one shot, but like your elbow drops like crazy here. Like you see how it's just like parallel like this, and you can't even see it because the camera is just taking a while. But yeah, your elbow needs to be lower, but it needs to be behind in a way. So it's always like under this sort of, under this sort of angle instead of like this. Because now we're just going up. We need this covering the ball, right? I want to sneeze so bad. And then backhand. See how it's all, your backhand is basically all, you start correctly, but then it's basically all shoulder. It needs to be, your backhand is to the simplest point. This part from here to here is stationary. This part from here to here, and then wrist, that's where all of the movement is. So your control comes from this part being locked in, is your anchor, and then everything else is the proper movement. So your block, your spin, your loop, everything is basically comes from that position. That's what you need to be looking at in terms of that. I feel like I need to do this in the actual table tennis gym once. Do it live, but in the gym, yeah, you see you going down, but then your loop is like, it's almost vertical, where it needs to be going down. So the best way to do loop, the best way to do a topspin is basically to sit down and loop with so your vertical action is based off your legs. Your top action with where you play hands and stuff is all the same. It never changes. Back, forward. Your angle changes a little bit on the racket, but everything else stays the same. If it's a flat ball, you do it the same way you do it downspill ball. The only thing that changes is you sit down lower with your legs, or you don't sit down as much. That's where your power comes from. That's where your verticality comes from. If you need to pick up the ball higher, you sit down lower, you get up quicker. That's the fundamental stuff. I understand that it might be difficult in practice to perform, but you can for sure mix it up. But it should never be hand vertical, which I think let's say again. I think you sat down well. You have that, But if you just do it forward, the topspin becomes so much higher quality than you just kind of backtracking in a way, and you kind of that's where it shows that you're not confident in your up top thing, right? Instead of going forward, putting your shoulder in, turning around, rotating fully, you kind of and you're losing all of the quality on the ball there. Okay. Like, see, like this one was more forward. This forehand, it was more of an action. Your elbow wasn't vertical. My camera is just sucks, eh? See how this one is just basically really good motion in terms of just playing forward. This is what we need here. But imagine this ball with downspin. All you need to do is just basically sit down and then still brush it with the same way. You'll start feeling a little bit better. Oh, victory! What you just send me half a minute of you just sitting there. Basically, I come in with the plan for a training session. If I see that something that needs to be corrected in terms of technique and stuff, then we look at regular drills. Match play in training, I do think match play in training is like a big thing. I'm a big believer in match play. So every training session ends with best of 3 or best of 5 match play. This is like a must. I loved irregular drills. Like, you play me free, I'll play you backhand. It's like my favorite. Like my coach used to call it free triangle. It was like one of my favorite drills ever. I would do it all day. Okay, I can backhand. I like. It's a little bit. You drop in shoulders instead of sitting down. Let me play this real quick from here. You drop in a little bit too much, in terms of like your ass is rotating, not in a bad way though. But you feel what I mean? Like, it feels like your shoulder is a little bit too low. You need to be rotating like from left to right instead of like sideways. Like you can see how the hand drops instead of the leg, right? So it kind of goes in this direction like this instead of boom forward, boom forward. It needs to be more efficient, and because it just drops a little bit too much, now it just kind of becomes this rotational issue. Your hand goes really well forward, but you need to cut out the part where you drop the hand below the table. I think it just needs to be less of a swing, because he does drop it a little bit too much, where almost his shoulders are kind of going this way. I'm looking for something, you know those football analyst apps where you can basically put a video and then you take a pencil and you draw on top of a video? I need something like this because I'm looking for like something similar to what I did in Harimoto video. I want to do it, but like with actual, I don't want to do it separately on the like editing software. I want to do it real time. Do you know any application that I can just like input video and then just draw on top of it? Or it's like online thing or whatever? I don't know. So a short bat swing for him basically. Not even shorter, it's just, it doesn't have to drop. Don't drop it below the table. So after you switch, so it's after you switch, right? So 1, 2, and then you basically start turning your shoulders. So your hand stays above. Imagine that the table continues and you cannot put your hand lower than the table. So that's where you play. Boom, boom. You just turn the shoulder, and then you go from here. Instead of you doing 1, 2, and then you kind of bring it back and you get lower, and then it's when you pick it up. So it's 1, 2, shoulders, pow. It's so weird doing it on chair. You're an Arsenal fan, yes sir. Declan Rice, the boy. New here, been playing training for some years in clubs in Brazil. Recently moved to Canada, Manitoba. My blade is 1 Lee Chin, Hurricane King 3 with 2 Dignics of 5. I have a hard time finding where to improve. A few months ago, training session with Robot. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our boy here. 31 minutes is kind of too much, but we'll see how you were like upright standing up. You need to lean a little bit more forward. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit too upright. The stance needs to be leaning forward as much as you can. Where it needs to be lower stance, you leaning forward, and then the hand goes forward. So you see your hand kind of picks up. You see your elbow, like this part of the body, it always goes up and down. To relax, bro. Legs need to be sitting down. Yep. Your back needs to be leaning forward a little bit more. Not crouching, but actually leaning forward from the low side of your back. So left foot is a little bit in front so that you're not sideways. You're going on the angle here. See, right foot is forward. It needs to be a different way. Left foot is in front always. Struggle being tall? Well, yeah, it is. But you can negate that. Instead of using your legs, you can just bend your back. So bend your back forward. Then you're gonna have much more room to turn into. Instead of you just being, you basically right now is like this, like playing like this. But if you turn your left foot, now you under the angle, and now you turn in. And now you turn in and you basically play into the ball. Every time you play, it's kind of, you lean backwards a little bit. You have a good relaxed like throw, but keep this part from here to here needs to be the same. Like it's like stationary. And then from there, that's where you put the speed on it. You go through the ball, because whenever it's flailing, now you're just playing, right? You're not gonna catch the ball properly. But if this is stationary, now it's you go through the ball, and the speed is gonna come. Trust me. You play a little bit higher. You don't drop the hand as much because your elbow is gonna be much higher here. And if this speed, you're gonna notice speed increase like immediately. Promise. I promise. See, because you're not turning around sideways, that's where it just goes from down to up. Your problem here is in the stance mostly. I don't see a problem with your strokes. If you fix your stance, as I said, just be a little bit lower. It's almost like you play like this, right? Like this, right? You're super tall, but you need to just lean down like this and play like this. It's gonna change in how you play, I promise. Alrighty, I will run. I will make a few more videos as I'm trying to keep the streak of consistent uploads for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this little live stream. I will be doing another one next week. So if you have any videos that you want me to check out, feel free to send them in the Discord. And we will see you next week live. And yeah, meanwhile, I'll create a couple more bangers for you. All right, talk to you guys soon. See ya.